It's space weather! Looking at the sun at 304 angstroms. There's a lot to cover. No time to waste. We got plasma filaments all over the northern portion of the sun. We have a Plage right here, not to be confused with a sunspot. We have a KP index of 6. Moderate geomagnetic storm, last I checked at least. High levels of activity happening. Let's look at the 171 angstroms view. You can see some activity over here. Also, coronal hole 46 has been increasing in size the last couple of days. The expected magnetic connection from that should be quite strong. You can see this coronal hole here is growing, practically extending all the way down to the South Pole. Meanwhile, we have some higher spots in the corona here where we see some activity rising. But the main news is the coronal hole wind stream. Let's look at the magnetic line since we always do. You can see coronal hole 46 could be magnetically connecting any time. And the wind stream from the previous coronal hole already here. Head to spaceweathernews.com, checking out the X-ray flux. We've actually come up off the floor and we've got A-class flaring, probably coming out of that Plage. Now, here's the real story, and this is what's causing the rest of the stuff. We've got elevated solar wind, we got a BTBZ bouncing all over the place. The solar wind density dropped off just as predicted, and the solar wind speed is all the way up to, it looks like about 600 kilometers per second now. Crazy spikes in the magnetometer. And a KP of 6. Moderate geomagnetic storm. Also, the electron flux is off the floor, also probably associated with that more active region rising across the center of the sun. Check it out. And the F2 layer is looking normal, actually. Now, let's do a random fact. Where's the music coming from? Well, it's original. I've been making music, well, I was a trained guitarist in 8th grade, but I was also a singer after that, and now I'm more of like a composer, producer. And if you head to soundclick.com/goldencapproductions, you have a whole variety of different songs. I think there's 15 songs there now, 14 songs. I think you can download, they're all like 99 cents if you download them. And there's your random fact. Let's look at the real-time solar wind. All right, you can see the solar wind density has dropped down from where it was. We had that increased density yesterday preceding the coronal hole wind stream, which is a totally normal thing. The protons get bunched up as the high-speed wind stream arrives. And here we can see we just updated, the density went up to 7.18 protons per cubic centimeter, and the wind speed up to 594 kilometers per second, nearly 600. Let's look at your geomagnetic perturbations. Keep in mind, folks, these are estimates by the University of Michigan. We like to look at it from the poles because it shows you the kind of the spillover effect. You can see the way the magnetism kind of spills out of the poles, and that is the way it works. Now, Let's look at the Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard. Check out the X-ray imager. And sure enough, it isn't a sunspot, but it's playing one in real life. And it's actually sending out some actual radiation here. You can see the white regions are the higher levels of X-ray flux. And here's that Plage. If you don't know what that means, just go to DuckDuckGo. Not a plague, a plage. What's a plage? Plage is a sandy beach or a bright and intensely hot area in the sun's chromosphere, usually associated with a sunspot. Not associated with a sunspot in this case, but that's what a plage is. SolarHam.net's got it mapped. We've been looking at it for days. Still not a sunspot. Will it turn into a sunspot? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Now let's look at the earthquakes. Last 8 hours, fairly uneventful. What do we got? 4.7 in the Philippines. 3.3 frac quake in Oklahoma. Chile got a 4.7 at 176 kilometers. So that now they're on alert there for a 5. Greece is still getting hit every day, repeatedly by mid-4s. There's Chile with another 4.4. I would say Chile should still be on alert. That whole area should be on alert. Chile and Argentina, I suppose it would be. I don't know my South American geometry so great. So be safe out there, everybody. Be monitoring this geomagnetic storm. Doesn't look too severe. However, that coronal hole wind stream is pretty powerful. Thanks for tuning in. Notice we've got 2 new featured channels. In addition to our Sky Scholar Oppenheimer Ranch project. And who's the other one? Suspicious Observers. Now we've also got Sci-Man Dan, who does flat earth debunking videos. And VA Drum. Andrea Vadrucci, drummer extraordinaire. Thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. More coming out daily. And remember, on your way to getting hit by coronal hole wind streams, don't drink. And if you drink, the coronal hole wind streams are going to hit you regardless. Holla!